Hi, this video will define what a contradiction is and give two examples. So first let's talk about contradiction. If something's contrary to popular belief, that's a common saying, then it means it goes against thinking. And in the case of mathematics, when we have a contradiction, it means that it doesn't quite make sense and there's no solution, all right? In other words, there never will exist a value for our variable that makes it a true mathematical statement. And now I have two examples down here. In example 1, if I just gave you this problem and didn't tell you that it was a contradiction, all right, you would just set out to solve it. And the first thing you would do is get rid of your parentheses by distributing this 3. Okay? So when you distribute your 3, you would get 3x minus 21, and you'd see that that is equal to 3x plus 2. But now notice, we already can tell that we have a contradiction. How? Well, what x value times 3 minus 21 gives you your same x value times 3 plus 2? Does that even make sense? All right? No. There does not exist an x value that makes both of these sides of this equation true. All right? But now if you didn't quite see it here, you would probably continue to solve this. You might subtract 3x each side. Well, then what happens? Your x's actually go away, and you're left with negative 21 equals 2. All right? And that goes against, I guess that goes for that common saying, contrary to popular belief. All right? So anytime you end up with something quirky like this, like negative 21 equals 2, it will mean that we have no solution. Remember that our instructions will be probably to solve. And that means we're looking for an x value that makes this a true mathematical statement. When we end up with something like this, we see that we have no solution. There does not exist an x value that makes this true. And when we're asked to classify the solution, we call it a contradiction, all right? Meaning that there does not exist a solution. I just want to reiterate that the solution is that there is none. The classification is that it is called a contradiction. Let's look at another example. Here, you might not be able to see right away that this is a contradiction, so you would just probably set out to solve it like you normally do. You'd look for your least common multiple of 2 and 6. Well, that is just 6. We can multiply both sides by our 6 in order to get rid of our fractions. Okay? We'd end up with 3t plus 1 on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, we'd end up with 3t minus 2. And now you may not still be able to see it, so you may continue to solve. You'd have 3t plus 3 equals 3t minus 2. Again, will there ever exist a value for t that when I multiply it by 3 and add 3, it's going to be equal to that same value times 3 minus 2? I don't think so. But if you don't quite see it, you might subtract 3t both sides, and you'd end up with 3 equals negative 2. All right? That doesn't happen. So we'd say that there's no solution to this equation, and if we're asked to classify it, we would call it a contradiction. I hope that this clarifies what a contradiction is.